Hey, it's Rob Hefner here with the town of Pinetop-Lakeside, hanging out in our studio, of course, in Town Hall. I have with me today Christy Southcoff. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So we're going to talk about a topic that came up, and it came up sort of last minute for us. So it got launched upon us, and then everybody else heard about it. And the big question everybody has is, of course, why? And it's the thing that happened is they've changed the date of the primary for the state of Arizona. Is that correct?
That's correct. The primary election date that was originally scheduled for August 6th was moved to July 30th. And that's just the primary election.
Right.
And that was signed by emergency measure on Friday, February 9th, so just last Friday, and by House Bill 2785, if anybody wants to reference that.
Yeah, I got to look those up, right? That was just a week change, right? 1 week change?
A 1 week change.
Okay. Why did they need to change it for a week?
So they decided in 2022, a law was signed increasing the margin of error to mandate a recount on an election, and it went from 0.1% to 0.5%. So with an increasing margin of error, they said that increases the possibility of recounts. And to allow enough time to do a recount and get the votes all where they need to be, they were worried that they wouldn't get it done in time. So there was a possibility they were worried that none of Arizona votes would count.
Right. So it pushes that back a week. It gives them a week more of time, or 5 days, working days, I'm sure, of time
exactly
to count or recount, let's say, if it was challenged, obviously recount the ballots.
That's correct.
So it gives them more time, less pressure, more of an ability to have an accurate count, and then we're able to still continue forward for the primary. The primary is the concern. It has nothing to do with the general election.
It does not.
But the primary determines who the delegates are who represent either for the Democratic or Republican national committees who they select for president.
That's right.
Right.
And they said this could be a permanent change. I mean, this is a presidential election, so we kind of thought it was just going to be a one-time thing, but now we're hearing it could be permanent. So the problem, it's not a problem, but the thing that made it so difficult is we have deadlines that we have to post postings or publishings in the paper for election information. It pushed all of our postings up by a week.
Yep.
So it really put a strain on us. But not only that is the filing date for petitions for candidates moved up by a week.
So everything that affects everything when it comes to primary elections has now changed.
Yeah.
So getting signatures has changed. Mm-hmm. Getting on the ballot has changed. Having everything in is changed. Giving all the things that candidates have to do, because you're a person that wants to be a candidate, you got to get signatures. Well, the signatures have to be turned in by a certain date.
Yes.
That date's moved, right?
It's moved a week up.
Okay. Everything's a week up.
Now, there is a rumor out there that there may be another emergency measure to move the petition date that they have to file it back to the original date.
Right.
But we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
So herein lies the question a lot of people are asking is, as soon as a candidate came and picked up their petitions and signed their interest letter, they went out and started getting signatures.
Yep.
Then it was like, okay, the petition said for an election on August 6th, what do we do?
Yeah.
So the emergency measure was effective immediately on the 9th of February. So any signature that was collected before that said August 6th is going to be accepted.
Okay.
As of the day that the bill was signed, the 9th, any petition after that has to have the July 30th date on it.
So if you've got printed out forms or you're collecting signatures, I rose my hand because I'm doing something in another area, you have to go change those.
Yeah, and I reached out to anybody who picked up a packet here, and it was all pretty self-explanatory. They understood it, and nobody had any that were going to be disqualified. They were all good, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else people need to know?
No, I think that if somebody approaches you to sign their petition and you do not live in the city limits of town of Pinetop-Lakeside, even if your address says you're Pinetop-Lakeside, double check a map, because if you sign someone's petition and you're not in the city limits of Pinetop-Lakeside, that signature is not going to count, and that can really mess up how many signatures they got.
Okay,
So
cool.
just be careful on that.
Okay, that's it. So, just make sure you got everything in order. And if you're out there and you see somebody's handing out a thing and it's got the wrong date on it, you might point it out to
Any questions, give us a call. And Annie and I have been updating the town website. Right now we're putting all the new posting date or all the new dates up there for this change. So,
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Christy.
You're welcome.
So once again, remember that the regular Talk of the Town, that newsletter comes out on the 1st and the 15th. Sign up for that at Pinetop-Lakeside, az.gov. I'm Rob here for the podcast Talk of the Town. We'll see you next time.